everyone. My name is Paula. I'm the Director of Operation for Dorado Resorts, and we have the great pleasure to enjoy a fantastic lunch with our friends, family, and partners. So I would like to introduce Robert Worrell, the President for Beach Palm Vacations. Lisa and Randy Oates from Getaway Travel. Kim Crosby for Mayan Weddings. And as part of Lomas Group, Mrs. Dolores Lopez Lira, President for Lomas Group, and Samantha Frachet, Vice President for Lomas Group. So today we're going to talk about post-COVID, what we're doing in our resorts, not only behind the scenes to receive our customers, our partners, in a very safe environment. So Karina, she's our sales manager representing Charisma Hotels and Resort, and we're going to talk in a very organic and casual atmosphere about what we're doing in the resort, in front of the guests, behind the scene, to have everything ready with our open arms to say we are ready, we are coming back stronger, more than ever. So Karina, tell me about the Charisma Peace of Mind. I know it's something we are implementing in Charisma Hotels and Resort. It's a program unique about wellness because our resorts, the guests are coming, to reconnect, to relax after so much stresses, in the every daytime. So Karina, you can tell us.
Exactly, and thank you very much for the introduction. For us, peace of mind is that to take all your worries away. We will take care of all the specific protocols for you to just enjoy, and the peace of mind is essential for you for your vacations, to have a perfect vacation. So we are implementing more than 100 new protocols that are adjusting to our already existing protocols and international certifications. For us, our gourmet inclusive properties are for you to relax and enjoy a beautiful and amazing vacation.
So our dedicated well-being program includes sanitation, cleanliness as well, and services. But we don't have to forget that our company is, along all this year, more than 20 years, certified with international standards and protocols, like for example, the international company Cristal, air check as well, security and check safety hotels. So right now what we're doing is just enforcing our protocols and standards, and that's part of our brand as well, because the hygiene is very, very important, and sanitation from the past. So right now we are enforcing and bringing these more protocols into operations to make sure that all the guests can come back in a very safe atmosphere, but enjoying as well all the best of our gourmet inclusive experience as well. So, well, this is part of the Charisma Peace of Mind, because we bring peace of mind to your stay, to your vacations, enjoying the best of the gourmet inclusive experience. So I don't know, Robert, Lisa, Randy, do you have any questions that maybe the customers, the partners, they might have, in regards to the protocols, what is coming next? Well, in this phase, because we know that the scenario is changing every time.
What kind of personal protection equipment are your employees using?
Well, upon check-in, we are offering the guests special amenities like the face masks, for example, the gloves, the hand sanitizer or gel as well, so they can feel, comfortable as well. We are working the process of doing a web check-in, which is really very important, so the guests, they don't have to sign on, so they can do the check-in back at home or during the way to the airport. So at the time they arrive to the resort, they will have their room ready by then.
Right, so they don't have to go through any check-in process. They just are able to come in and get their keys.
Exactly.
Right.
So when the room is ready, they will just pick up an envelope with the keys, with the special amenities such as the face masks, and of course inside the room we'll have an extra touches for the customer.
That's awesome.
I also wanted to mention that we are adjusting our protocols to our guests. So we have different options for them to do the check-in. One of them is the online check-in. The other option is the self-service check-in. So we are providing also sanitized tablets if they prefer to do a self-service check-in. Or if they want to do the regular check-in, we can also do it with the safe distance protocols and the plexiglass barriers.
Right.
So we really are accommodating to each client and what they prefer to do for their check-in.
That's great.
We would like to listen as well. How was your experience at the airport? We've been in contact with some customers that we have right now on property, and they are mentioning that they feel so safe when they arrive to Cancun airport, and they know that, and they see that the whole bunch of protocols have been implemented. So at the time when they take the transportation, they have their own protocols as well. They come here to the resort, and the bellboy, they sanitize the luggage. They receive these special amenities such as face mask, the hand sanitizer, the web check-in, so they feel, like more relaxed, to enjoy the vacation.
Right. It's a peace of mind.
May I ask a question on the sanitation? Is it, what are they using on the luggage? Is it safe, organic?
It's biotech. The
Thank you.
brand is biotechnical. It does have, it's certified.
Okay.
Not only it was suggested by the local authorities, but also it's part and it has been certified by CRISA.
Wonderful. Okay, because that was one of the things. And also the masks, I find some people have a hard time breathing. So are they going to be mandatory in certain areas of the resort, in restaurants?
No, it's not mandatory. It's part of the amenities that we offer to our guests, like the gloves, for example, the face mask.
Okay.
It is mandatory for our staff members. This is very
Okay.
important because it's not only about the safety of our customers, also for the safety of our staff members and their families. This is very important.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, one thing that I noticed when we arrived here at the resort was when we came into the lobby, you guys had kind of markers on the floor within the lobby to create the social distancing normals, which I was really impressed with. But the other thing that I noticed is out around the pool area, I noticed, because I've been here before, that you guys have put a little bit more space in between the beach beds. You've also increased the spaces amongst the tables and chairs out around the pool area.
Yes, exactly. Well, you know that all the government indications has been aligned with international protocols and standards from Cristal. So right now, the standard is 1.5 meters, and for the body and beach bed is about 2 meters. Because we really want to make this guests also feel comfortable about this measure. We need to be very strict as well. So right now we are working to implement a different type of signage, informing the guests our protocols of peace of mind, and that we want to, inform the customers about this distance that it has to be done between customers and staff members. We really want the staff to be, active and be also, like proactive and be social with the customers.
Right. Yeah.
But right now we need to focus first on service
Safe.
and to accomplish all the protocols on this phase.
Right.
Especially, I would say that we need to inform the guests, and we need to let them know. We can do it through signage, or why not take advantage of the digital information that can be placed through the app.
Yeah,
No?
Yes.
That would
We
be-
love the idea of the app.
the app is a
Yeah.
phenomenal idea.
Because then you educate the guests,
Mhm.
we educate our staff, and you don't see this huge sign out that maybe will,
Right.
I mean, there will be some of them, but anyway, all of the protocols and the information will be placed on the app.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I
let
think
me-
it's not just education, it's empowerment, right? Like, you feel more empowered if these things are everything you're doing is around you. It's like you're not having to, it's like you've taken care of that for all the guests.
Well, it's a peace of mind.
Yeah.
And
This-
actually something that I feel it's very important and we have to stress out, and you hadn't mentioned, that's why I interfere, is the length of our piece of land and the way the hotels El Dorado are built.
Exactly.
People have enough space
Yes, it's perfect.
to have peace of mind all over the place. I
Right.
mean, they don't have to be all, how you call it? All,
On top of each other?
exactly, on top of each other at the swimming pool. They don't have to be on top of each other, fighting for a bed
Right.
on the beach or on the beach. They have miles of beachfront in the different properties that they can really enjoy.
Yes, just for an example, at the Dorado Royal, Casitas Royal and Generation Rivera Maya, which is a whole complex, recreational area, one guest has 65 meters square for their own, enjoy, which is incredible,
Yeah.
And as you know, the resort, even if it's 100% occupancy, you don't feel the resort crowded, because there are so many areas, 13, 15 pool areas, 15 bars as well. So we are working, with all these protocols to be implemented during this week. We're working behind the scenes since March 20, actually, with all the staff members that they are being trained back at home, and the ones that we kept in the resorts to maintain the resorts and the areas. And the positive thing as well is that usually during this period of time, the morale grows. So what we're doing through our leaders, Mira Dolores, Samantha, Charisma Hotels and Resort, we are maintaining very positive. So now we are ready to open. Well, we never close
Yeah,
our
you're ready.
So we're ready to open our second resort on June 15 with Generation Rivera Maya to receive all those families.
One
Very
thing
good.
I understand also is that you're requiring reservations now for like the gym and things that you may not have required reservations for, just to kind of minimize the number of people that you have in an area at one time.
Right, we have determined that we need to have a maximum of guests inside the gym or inside the venue, depending on the size of the venue. For example, for large gyms, we are allowed to have more customers, but we want to have one personal training, somebody from entertainment, making sure that everything is sanitized before and after the use of the customers. Because also the guests, they need to be informed, what we are doing to maintain everything clean and sanitized, and informing, what we are doing. Especially for gyms and for the restaurants,
Right.
because we're gonna work with 30% of our, capacity. Exactly. So we're gonna have more restaurants open, but with 30% of the capacity, the guests, they will have enough space between each table, so more than 2 meters. And the staff also will feel more comfortable to provide an excellent service to the customer, which is also very
Right.
important. I know it's difficult, behind the face mask, you cannot see the smile of
We have
the
to
staff
draw one.
member,
You can
but
tell,
we
though,
need to
you can
imagine
tell.
that, and it will come up very, very organic.
It's funny you
Yes.
say that because everywhere I go, I'm smiling, and I'm like, why are
Nobody
you smiling?
knows.
Nobody
Yeah.
can see your smile.
Yes, exactly.
I think
But it shows in your eyes.
It shows in your eyes.
It gives
yeah.
people, that really will give our clients peace of mind to know that the gym's not going to be packed and the spa's not going to be packed and the restaurants are not.
And I think you mentioned something very important, our staff, because what we're trying is we will not wait until they arrive to the resorts if they have a little bit of fever or something like that. First, we're trying to teach them to be conscious of taking care not only of their health, but their family health.
Right.
Something that we repeat every day is you have to wash your hands, you have to drink water, you have to be separate. So since they board the buses, the transportation,
Right.
they are checked. If they have fever, why to bring them to the resort? Let's get them back to their homes,
Right.
so they will not risk not only the other staff, but the guests.
Right.
So
Right.
that's something very important for us, that everybody, all of us, understands we are responsible of ourselves, and we have to take care not only of the guests but inside out.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
And actually enforcing what Senora Dolores has mentioned, we have an in-house doctor in each property working 24 hours. So the doctor is the one that in case we have a staff member of a guest that feels sick for any reason, we have somebody, on property to be ready to attend any guest or staff member needs, which is very important. We work with an excellent hospital in Playa del Carmen and in Cancun, so they are ready also with all type of protocols about that. And well, as you mentioned, the airport experience was
Right.
great as well.
And Paula,
Yes.
the doctor, it's not only the doctor, we also have an agreement with the hospital, and we have availability of an ambulance. And one is for El Dorado Royal, one is for El Dorado Maroma, so we are fully covered.
So if one of our clients were to get sick while they were here, you know, maybe they didn't know they had COVID, they arrived at the hotel, what would happen?
So the doctor will review them and they will decide if they can be kept here, separate, and we already have the protocols as well.
Right.
And from that, depending on how it evolves, then they will proceed to continue the second protocol, which would be either to stay or to go back home.
Okay.
Well, that's an interesting point because I think it's more likely that they would not get it here than bring it here. So that I just want to distinguish that there
Right.
is that how do we make people a little more transparent and accountable also? Like I myself I've been sick 3 times in my life, really sick, and it was all because of an airplane. So if they come here and didn't realize and then they're all of a sudden sick, like how, if there's something in place like,
There's a declaration form.
yeah, I was just gonna say some kind of declaration
There is a
form.
health declaration form, and we also have our staff trained on sick guest protocols. So our staff is ready to determine and to see what protocol should we use with each client.
Okay.
If it happens that we have the client with COVID-19, we will follow the first phase that Samantha just explained.
Mhm.
We have the direct line with an excellent hospital to take care of them. And when they are already safe and being taken care of, we will take care of the room as well. We will sanitize deeply all the room, all the disinfection protocols, and we will help that room on hold for 72 hours as well to make sure everything is perfectly clean for our guests who
Great.
arrive.
But I agree with the declaration form. There's got to be some kind of safe for the hotels. I mean, you're going out on a limb. You're doing everything possible to ensure their safety. So they have to have some accountability too.
Actually, the procedure focuses in the hotels that they have to allocate a separate area for clients that might be sick.
Okay.
So they don't have any contact
Yeah.
Okay,
with the
perfect.
rest of the guests.
That's a
So
good
all
point.
the hotels have to have a backup of separate rooms, and the food will be brought directly. It will be separate staff to take care of a suspicious
I
flight.
love that because you're protecting your staff, but you're also protecting other guests
Exactly.
who.
Exactly, and in all the resorts we have created a committee, which is a group of executive of the resort that they know how to do and how to act in every situation. So it's like in the hurricane seasons that we have a committee, what we have to do, the reaction, where and what we have to report. We have this committee for the post-COVID situation.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Well, and that bounces back to an earlier question that Paula brought up regarding about the arriving at the airport that I don't think we answered or touched on, but it kind of comes back to your question, Kim. When we arrived here, I was very, very impressed with the precautions and the protocols that were taking place at the Cancun airport. It was far superior to what we experienced in Houston.
Wow.
It really impressed me to get off of the plane and to see the protocols they had in place, to see that the temperature check was being done. to
Okay,
see-
so that was done at the
Yes.
airport.
Yes,
Okay,
and to see
excellent.
that they were actually sanitizing the airport throughout, so that was impressive. And then to even go into when we were greeted
And
by
that's
the
with
Lomas, and then
Lo-
that's when we were
Lomas
greeted by
travel.
Lomas,
Yeah.
who even took the protocols even further, you know, with the hand sanitizer, the facial mask, and then sanitizing
Our
each bag.
luggage, yeah.
Yeah.
They did that
They
there.
yeah, at the
Oh,
airport
wonderful.
before it ever even went into the
Okay.
into the car.
That's
maybe-
actually smart.
So maybe you did leave home with a red suitcase and.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like,
What about yours, Robert? Was it the same color?
Yes.
Send him home
but
with a
through
big
this
one.
through this whole experience, arriving on Monday, the plane was clean the
Okay.
way it should have been for the last 20 years.
Yes.
The airports
I was
were
wondering.
clean in the U.S. the way they should have been the last 20 years.
right.
Cancun, it's always been the most amazing clean airport I've ever been in. I mean, to find me a piece of dirt on the floor or find me a
That's true.
washroom that
No, that
even
is true.
smells,
Yeah.
let alone the resorts here. So to come in I mean, I felt comfortable as one, but it didn't surprise me the airport was as clean as it was because it always has been that clean. But it was refreshing to see that, you know, the airplane ride to me. But it was like a little frustrating too because you're like, this is the way they should have been cleaning these planes for 20 years. But yeah, the first temperature check, boom, Lomas travel.
Yes.
And I thought you felt comfortable, you felt good, and you felt like, all right, we're working this. That works well. And to see him grab both pieces of my luggage and wipe them down with a sanitary process was kind of like, all right, great. I actually posted to social media, wow, I needed my bag cleaned. And it worked well. And I did say to my driver, you don't have to wear the mask. And he's a loyal guy because he's like, no, sir, we need to wear them. And because I thought it was my choice because it was just me in the vehicle. But even landing into the resorts, right from opening the door, I felt like they were touching the door and then they, clean my handle as soon as I get on. So that was good. And as soon as you started coming into the doors, they opened them for you, hand sanitizer right away, so you were coming in fresh. I love some of the changes you guys have made though. Open table for reservations, web check-in. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we should have been doing that maybe in the past, but hey, why not? And when getting to the room, to see every glass self-wrapped, every utensil, the coffee, it felt like it was just for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even though I knew they were clean in the past, it made it even much better. So yeah, I was... Again, it's too bad something like this brought all this cleanliness to us, but it felt very comfortable, and it gave me, like, I don't know, a peace of mind in a way.
But it's like, if it's raining, we will provide you an umbrella, and we might be wearing a raincoat. Now that we have post-COVID, we're taking care of it by certain process that might not last forever. Right. But right now, our very best effort is to have them accomplished for the safety of everyone.
Right. And we're talking about protocols, but we are also talking about taking care of the guests. Señora Dolores, how about the staff, that we are taking care of the staff? How we did it during this situation?
Well, first of all, when we found out, you made the survey of who the people who stay within the property, and we kept them, I should say, secluded or kidnapped because we had to take care of the property, the gardens, the maintenance, air conditions, all the equipment. And we decide they follow each manager with their staff who will stay within the property. So they had a ball because they had the property.
They were living the dream.
They had all the meals, of course, and they had to work a little. Right. And I think they even enjoyed the pool and everything.
That's amazing.
They had fun. What we do, as you have seen, provide the masks, gloves, and most of all, I think that the conscious make them acknowledge of what they have in their hands, that they have to protect themselves so they can protect everybody else. Yeah. I think that's the most important thing.
You just have some of the most loyal staff in the industry, and I can see how that would happen, that they would want to stay and protect the resort and take care of the resort.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, the staff that was working in the resorts, we were providing everything, but the ones they left the resort to come back home, they are still at home and willing to come back. So a lot of people, they are wishing to come back stronger. So we are communicating as well with them through social media, through WhatsApp, like, we are here, we're thinking of you. Be ready to come back because there is a lot to do as well, a lot to train, but we're going to come back stronger than ever, with the open arms. So we're going to see you soon, very soon. And the staff is really very committed and happy, to come back. And thank you to Lomas Group that we maintain all those jobs as well, because we closed down the resorts with 1,700 staff members, and we still have those staff members with their family, if you count not only that staff member, but
Right.
also the family.
Right.
So yes, during that time as well, we provided grocery from the greenhouse as well, health package, care packages as well, and we were in contact with them, you know, because
So they all
usually-
still
Can
got
I just
paid.
commend
Yes.
you on that?
Yes.
Too, by the way, that
Yeah, God bless your
was
hearts.
amazing that you did that, and from the greenhouse and everything. I was reading up on that, and that is amazing. And I know a few companies that would have stepped up in that way. So this is why we love you.
Kim,
For sure.
I think the most important thing is that people are the ones who make us.
They're
So-
your family.
They are our family,
Yes.
and they depend on us, and we depend on them.
Yes.
So this is a two-way street, and we will always protect the road.
Well, you're an excellent example to all
Yes.
of us. So
We
thank
have
you.
always loved Lomas, El Dorado brands because of you and Joe, and because of what you do for your people. Your people are so sweet, hospitable, and loyal, and we love them. We love you guys too.
And the only thing that they didn't get rid with the COVID is the tie. They are fighting, but
Maybe margarita.
Well, they can cut this part out if they want to, but for somebody who's been living in Mexico and I see their outfits they have to wear, I don't know. I'm like, how do you wear pants? And even in my community in Cancun, pants and full shirts and the security.
Well, it's better than no pants.
No, this is true.
Well, it depends.
But they're gardening in this, and I'm just like, how,
I don't know, maybe at Hidden Beach.
Yeah, okay, that came out wrong.
No, but I think the whole experience just very comforting, very comforting. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, you always think you know, and you always think you know. I've been in travel for 16 years. Wow, but you guys really stepped it up.
Really, right?
You know,
As
and-
expected.
Yeah,
As
expected.
But things
Yeah.
you
And now-
wouldn't even have thought of necessarily, right?
Well,
You're
like, I mean,
oh, well, that was a good idea.
I think most people that I know anyway use Open Table to go to a restaurant, to order food, whatever the case is, to make a reservation and to see
What
that
do
be
you
a
mean
part
by
of it.
open table?
So you can reserve your reservation at a restaurant on Open Table.
It's an app.
It's an
Oh,
app.
it's an app.
Or you can go to a website or whatever, and we use it a lot for local in
Okay.
Indianapolis or wherever you're going. If you're visiting, Chicago, LA, whatever, and you're like, hey, this is a 5-star, and you can look at the different restaurants in your area. So I think that's really neat. Also, just going through, just walking around and see the other guests.
Mhm.
We met a guest that they were 91 days,
Oh.
and they felt safer here than going home.
Yeah.
And I sat down, and like Randy and I sat down, and we're like, whoa, can we talk to you? And he walked us through, and he's like, I can't believe the staff, I can't believe everybody. We didn't know if we wanted to stay, but we felt we should. And then after about 2 more weeks, we were like, we can't go home. We feel safer
Family.
here.
Yeah.
And like he was being legit. He wasn't giving us the dog and pony show. He was like, I felt safer being here than back home.
Wow.
So I assume we have, or you have, 2 stepbrothers.
No, actually, Bruno teach the lady how to kayak. So
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's
That's
great.
a memory.
That's good.
That
I was
is.
in Rome a couple months ago now, and I said, as soon as I'm out of quarantine, that's the first
Yeah.
place I'm
Oh,
going. And
That's
here
where
I
we
am.
are.
And we had a great meal.
Oh, that was delicious.
Oh, and then they bring more.
Yes,
To not have to cook a meal.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking also about Gourmet Inclusive Experience, which is the best service, the best product. Just to mention that we are also improving our food displays protocol. So for this phase, all our restaurants will open a la carte, okay? And all the menus will be in the mobile app as well. Even room service, which is still 24 hours. So we are providing that service as well for the customers.
Good.
I think everybody's going to appreciate the gourmet inclusive even more than they already have after
Yes.
having it for 2 months. That,
Hallelujah.
Well,
yeah.
It was the first meal I had, I think, in 3 months. But it was gourmet, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, we didn't cook it ourselves and
Oh,
jank it up.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
And it was well worth to take a picture for Instagram or Facebook because
Every
when
single
we
time.
cook,
I actually forgot to take a picture. I was
We gotta know.
so excited.
And
I
I was
didn't.
halfway through.
Yeah, talking also about the food, it's important to know and mention that we have our own greenhouse.
Yes.
76,000
yes.
square feet of the greenhouse. So we have the control on all the greens and all the freshness and all the unique taste that you will have with the gourmet inclusive experience. So it really is a big family that has out the staff that is part of the family, the gourmet inclusive experience, the unique treatment and feeling that you get when you arrive here. That is our signature thing.
Right.
I think that maybe going forward after quarantine, that maybe you should look at doing some kind. I don't want to say, the gym, because when we come here, a lot of people don't want to be inside. But maybe some wellness for all of us who've been sitting around. But maybe we should do some brainstorming about that. How we can bring some fun wellness to
Outside.
wellness
Outside,
and being, and
outdoors.
not just like.
I'm coming here for
and-
vacation.
But we have the
No,
Temazcal
but
experience. at
yes,
the
there's
city.
Temazcal, which I've done, which I've done.
And we have implemented also different protocols for our spa services, especially for massages, for Temazcal as well. And coming soon is a very nice campaign about wellness at the spa. I'm not able to talk right now about that, but it's
Yes.
something really very nice because the guests really want to reconnect with themselves, with the couples, with the partner, and also they really need to stress relief, especially during this time. So
And to
This is
lose weight.
exactly what I'm talking about. Is more
And to
more
lose weight.
enrichment based, because I feel like we've all just mentally been through the ringer, and so I'm excited to.
yes, well, it's about also meditation,
Yes.
yoga as well, and about entertainment. We need to keep social distance with the other customers, but we want to have all the activities in reduced groups as well with all the protocols. But we still have the beach volley, for example, activities inside the pool, Zumba, salsa lessons, for example, and for night entertainment, depending on the venues as well, we want to have pop-ups of live music in different bars and restaurants.
Oh,
so
that's great.
bringing the best
That's
of
great.
the experience into where you are in your
That's
place.
excellent.
Paula, one thing I wanted to ask you is that this is kind of phase one. What does phase
Yeah.
2, phase 3 look like for you all?
For here in Mexico, depends on what the government established, because we need to follow up on those protocols as well, because we're working on that certification as well. Okay. But depends on the scenario. I mean, we wish we could come back to not the old
Green.
reality, it's the new world.
Right.
Okay, the new world in the tourism industry. But we think that when the staff is well trained, the service is excellent, and we're always trying to exceed our guests and partners' expectation, it will be the new reality.
Okay.
But we're gonna be more conscious, more conscious about how important is to enjoy in not just live the moment, but also live the present with an envision of the future as well.
Right.
And right now in this table, we are, talking about the business. We are building the business.
Right.
So with you, family, friends, and partners, you are the ones that can give us the feedback, what we can improve in the near future, what will be the new vision as well, because we have our philosophy that is the staff, the guests is the most important thing. Business is business, but at the end of the day, because of our staff, we are what we are right now.
Right. Okay.
So, and the vision is also what Senor Martinez has given to us along these more than 20 years, working with him. And I know he's not right now on the table, but
He's
here. He's in our brains and in our hearts. So
Exactly.
yes, we are doing the best that we can do, for our customers. Because look at that behind, is the Caribbean Sea. We are here at Palafitos, and the weather is such great. There's no seaweed as well. We passed a tropical storm, but it was really nothing compared what we had passed. And yes, we are here for you, and we're coming back soon, very soon, on Monday 15th.
Yeah,
The first prototype.
you have given us all so much peace of mind. We thank you for just letting us interview you and talk to you and ask questions that'll help all the travel agent community and our clients. And
thank you.
Yeah,
thank
we love you
guys
all.
but you for coming in and showing people, because I think your clients are going to feel safe if you feel safe. So thank you for coming.
Yes, and I would like to speak up on behalf of the staff members, because they are not right here, all of them, but we say thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because after this situation, I think everybody understands that we are here because of you. So much important is our staff member, but also you, and the destination, and we love Mexico, and we are ready to receive you with our open arms. And on behalf of the management as well, and myself, we are here because of you, and any question, anything, we can, we are more than glad to answer that, and we can do anything to exceed also any guest expectation, that it could be like a small detail or a perk or something special, especially for the peace of mind when you want to get recovery and wellness. We are more than glad to, exceed your expectations as well.
We're not going to do surgery, are we?
I know one thing I would like to close on, or I know we're getting close to our time limit, and I can't wait to get into that gourmet dessert. Is that reading some of the procedures to clean the room? One thing that I was like, wow, this is great, but what hit me like a really quick for our clients and for people that in the past maybe were frustrated with check-in and waiting for the room is going to be ready now.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like when they land and they check in, there's not like, hey, come back at 3 o'clock, come back at 4 o'clock. So that was exciting. And then secondly, or at least last, that I have to say is, I'm totally confident. I'm glad I came. It makes me feel good to tell our clients and tell our agents and tell our consultants and peers in their industry what's going on and how the El Dorado and the gourmet inclusive experience is working, and how comforting it is for us anyway to see, for hands-on. So thank you for the invite.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias. Thank you.
Gracias.